Hey everybody, welcome to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron. Today we're going to be working on Longstep a little bit. I got a little update here for you first thing. I've gotten a decent amount done on it since the last video, so we'll get into that first. I got all the wiring under the hood roughed in. A couple things still need to be plugged in. I still got to loom everything up and make it look pretty, but I always leave it undone until I hook the battery up and test everything, make sure all the wiring's good, because there's really no point in looming it all up and making it all look pretty, and then you go to use it and something's not right and you got to tear it all back down again. So I just leave it loose until I get it, till I know everything's good, and then I'll go back and put loom on it, tape it up, whatever I need to do to make it look good. So I've been working on the AC lines. We got steel braided lines, so they kind of match everything else going on under the hood. We got a kit that came with a bunch of different fittings, angles, shapes, sizes. So I picked out the fittings that I wanted. I measured my hoses, got them cut to length, and now I just need to take them down to the hose shop and get them crimped. And I still got to pull the valve covers off because they don't have any holes in them for breathers or oil fill caps or anything, so I'm going to pull those off. If they have baffles in them, I'm going to go ahead and drill them and put ports in them. If they don't have baffles in them, we're going to have to order another set of valve covers, because this thing's going to be a cruiser and I really don't want to have to set up an oil catch can breather setup just for a cruiser. Somebody that's not real mechanically inclined, I guess I could say, for lack of better terms, I don't want to leave it on them to have to drain catch cans and all that kind of stuff. So if those valve covers aren't baffled, we're going to find some baffled valve covers to put on there. All the wiring in here is done. These two wires right here, I just have to cut back and cap. They're not going to be used. They're for power accessories this truck doesn't have. I went ahead and got the carpet set in here so it can kind of relax and find its spot, just like we did in the other truck. And it sat there all weekend. I'm gonna kind of leave it sit there while I finish up the under the hood stuff, and then once I get the under the hood stuff finished up, which I'll keep you guys updated on in this video as I do it, but the main portion of this video is going to be getting that interior put in. I know I just did a video on installing an interior in dirty here, but that was kind of just cleaning up an interior, and Longstep's going to be a full interior install. We got all brand new parts. We're going to do sound deadening and insulation under the carpet, the brand new seat, brand new dash pad, door panels, everything. So I'm going to do a decent video on a full interior installation, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So sit back and we'll get this thing going. All right, just a little update. Yesterday I was kind of scatterbrained. I'd start working on something and go to get a part or a tool and go, oh, I can do that, and do that, and kind of just kept going back and forth like that. But I got all the wiring in the engine compartment done, except for I have to run that blue wire to my fuel pump, and I got to run this positive and negative straight to the battery, and then I got to hook up my positive and negative for the vintage air. Other than that, all the wiring on this truck is done. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 wires left to hook up, and I plan on getting that done today. I told you guys before in another video that these valve covers don't have any holes for breathers or oil fill or anything like that. So I was going to take them off and just drill these holes out and put breathers in there. But I pulled this one off and it doesn't have any baffles in it. So if you put a breather in there and there's no baffles to kind of stop the oil, you're just sucking oil out of your motor. So I don't want to do a catch can setup because this is going to be a cruiser and I don't want the owner of the truck to have to deal with that. So we're going to order some new valve covers. Whenever those come in, we'll get those put on. But so I got the wiring yesterday. Over here on Dirty, at one point in time it had some of those plastic vent visors on here. This side was pretty much just the double-sided tape. The other side had broken off pieces of the visor still on there. So I went ahead and got all the broken pieces of visor off and got as much of the adhesive off as I could on both sides. I think this is just a little bit of film here, and I think that will buff out. So some of the trim down here was missing. So I went ahead and pulled it all off and got as much of the adhesive off of there as I could. My dad came over to hang out because he was bored, and he 98% cleaned the bed out for me. There's still a little bit of stuff in here, but I can blast all that out with the pressure washer. So that was a big help. Got all the trim and moldings and everything off of this side and all the adhesive taken off. Let's see, what else did I do? I got the sway bar for Longstep in here and all cleaned up and painted. So I went to the parts store yesterday and got bushings for that, so that's ready to put on. I'm gonna finish up the little bit of wiring that I gotta do, and then we're gonna get started on the interior. So I'm gonna knock the wiring out real quick. I'll give you guys an update when I'm done, and then we'll get started on the interior. Today is a good day. A day that I didn't know if was ever gonna come. It seemed like it just kept dragging on, seemed like it was never gonna get here, but we made it, and all the wiring on Longstep is done. Every last ground, everything. I mean, I still have to put loom on it and straighten it up and dress it up and all that kind of stuff, but I don't like to secure it and loom it until after I've shot power through it and tested everything to make sure it's all gonna work, because there's nothing worse than having to go back and take off everything that you put on to dress it up to find a issue or fix something. But she's done. Everything is wired in. Got our relays for our electric fans up here, headlights, battery, Holley EFI, washer pump, I mean everything. The list goes on and on and on, and that was what I kept running into. I was like, oh, all I got left to do is wire a couple sensors in the Holley. And I did that, and then I was like, oh damn, I didn't wire the fans. So then I went through and wired the fans, and then I went, oh, I didn't get this done. Oh, I got this too. And it just seemed like forever. I've literally, since I started this video, I've been wiring for 3 days, 2.5 days. Today is Wednesday, and I started to finish the wiring up Monday morning. So I thought I was a couple hours away, almost done, and 2.5 days later, I finally finished it, except for dressing it up, but that's not a big deal. With that being done, I'm getting close, and I feel really good about it. And I'm close enough that I made a to-do list for the truck. And in order for me to make a to-do list, I gotta darn near be done, because otherwise I just kind of keep working and know what I gotta do, and as I see stuff sorry, I'm grabbing something. As I see stuff I do it and stuff like that, but when I get to the point where I'm making a list so I don't forget anything, it's real close and I'm real happy. So I posted in the community that I set the carpet in here so it could lay out. Don't worry about that wire, that one just needs to be blocked off. It's for something that we're not using. But I posted in the community that I put the carpet in here and that the tan looked really good against the dark green truck. And I got a few comments, and it seems like the general consensus is that everybody thought the truck was black, which on camera and in the videos and stuff I can kind of see that. But I told a couple people in the comments that in this video I would do my best to show the actual color of the truck. And I don't know how forgiving the camera's gonna be, but I'm gonna try. I don't know the best way to do this. This is a good, I figure this was as good a spot as any to show you because it's real nice and clean still. But it's a dark green with a metallic, and it, sorry, that's the best I can do. Hopefully you were able to see something. I know the light was glaring, but anyways, it's a dark green metallic. It's a really pretty color, and the tan interior is gonna look amazing against it. So with that being said, let's throw in the tan interior. Okay, before we install the dash pad, which is the first thing I'm gonna do, I went ahead and put our ashtray door in because it screws from the top and you can't get it with the dash pad on. And I went ahead and ran all our ductwork for the air vents for the heat and air. So I got that knocked out. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the dash pad in. Alright, I went ahead and assembled the dash pad, put the vents in it and the clips and all that stuff, because I did it in the last video on that other dash pad. If you guys watched that one, I didn't want to make you go through it twice. And if you haven't watched that one and you want to know how to put a dash together, then you should go back and watch it. So these things fit really tight. I think I'm fighting my vent here. There we go. Get that down. And whatever company made this dash pad oiled the crap out of it. Thing's oily, can't even hardly hold on to it. That clips in. That clips in. That clips in. It's not quite all the way in yet. There we go. Now we're in. Okay. Well, you guys can see everything. New dash pad, new trim panel, all new vents. So everything's nice and new. We got 4 screws that go here. I'll throw them in, and then the gauge bezel is going to pinch this in, which is that's what holds that up there. So I'm going to go ahead and hook my vents, these two vents up. I can reach down under the glove box there and do it. I'll get those put in and then we'll move on. Okay, I got all the screws in the dash. It's in there. Kind of give you guys a better view than what I did installing it. Fits pretty good. It's got some like film, like a mold release, for when they injection molded it. It's really slimy and nasty. Last couple I did didn't come with that on it, but all these interior parts came from LMC. The seat cover, the carpet, the door panels, the dash, pretty much everything. It all came from LMC. And that's a good point. When the guy that owns this truck went to order the interior, I told him, make sure that you order everything from the same place. I don't care where you get it from. It's all aftermarket. It's all going to be forced to fit. But if you order it all from the same place, then it'll all be the same color. Where if you get a dash pad from one place and door panels from another place, the color can vary because of their dyes or their formula or whatever. So now we're going to do a box opening on the door panels. I haven't seen them yet, so let's check them out. Okay, so this box here should be the door panels. I haven't even opened it yet. Hopefully they're right. It'd really suck if we opened them up and they were red or something, wouldn't it? I'm just joking. I really hope they're not. And they come with all the clips and I think screws. The last set I bought came with everything. It was nice. So hopefully these did too. Yeah, I got everything. All the screws, clips, everything, so that's cool. They're just basic door panels for a 73, 74 model truck. So this is the passenger side. I've got the armrest. They came separately in a different package. I've got them in there, so I'm gonna go grab that armrest and I'll take you guys back over to the truck and we'll get some door panels put on. Okay, a couple things you got to do before you put the door panels on. And there's these rubber filler pieces or seals, I guess you'd call them, that go on the door handles. There's these little foam donuts that go over the window regulator. And these are really important. If you don't make sure these are on, when you roll your window, the door panel flexes and it can push in. This is like a spacer to hold the door panel out against the crank so that it looks right. So you got those, your rubber, and then you want to make sure that your clips that the door panel screws to are in also. On the door panel side, they come with these Christmas trees, but they're not installed. You have to install them yourself. And then you want to make sure that your little E-clip for where the door handle screws in is in place. So I've already checked all that. I got my door panel ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and put it on. You want to make sure that you have your angle bracket here and that it has the E-clips in it also, because that's where your door handle, door pull mounts to. So we're going to put the door handle in first. You want to make sure you get up over your lock knob, then you're over your window knob, and then you tuck the panel in next to the window. Make sure it all gets pushed down good. Make sure that goes in. And then we gotta line our Christmas trees up. Pop that one in. Pop that one in. Check the fitment. And there you have it. Now, the door panel is pretty much installed. You got one screw that goes here at the handle, and then 4 screws that go across the bottom. So we'll go ahead and throw them in. And then they also come with these little deals that go around your lock knob. So you want to make sure you put them in too. Grab those. Push it down in there. You're good to go. Okay. There's 2 shorter screws, and the rest are all the same length. So the shorter screws go in by the door handle, and then 4 long screws go down across the bottom. If I can get them out of the package. Alright. I haven't personally done it, but I watched somebody over tighten one of these screws and crack one of these aftermarket door panels. So I get them snug, and where the panel's tight if you pull out on it, but that's it. I don't crank down on them. Not really any need to. We have our armrest, door pull, whatever you want to call it. Take our screws. They made the holes in these, but they're not really through, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the screws to open them up. Alright, and then alright, those are on nice and tight. Gotta get a little hook to spread the tabs out on that. I don't like putting these covers for the door lock knobs on the panels before I put them on, because they got little aluminum tabs that fold under to hold it. And I've scratched doors before. So if it was an old truck that was already half scratched and everything and didn't matter, that'd be one thing. But since this is all brand new with fresh paint, I don't want to scratch that. So I can just reach in there You can see the tabs on it. I can just reach down in there with a little 90-degree pick and fold those tabs out. So that'll be easy, not a big deal. We'll get that done. Last thing to do is put the window crank on. Of course, I didn't bring it over here, so let me run and get the window crank and we'll throw that on. Okay, we just got stock replacement window cranks. Now, me being a rather tall individual, when I put these window cranks on, when the window's all the way up, I like to clock the window crank so that it's facing straight forward. And that's on. That way, when you're sitting there, you got more room for your knee. So, window rolls down nice, rolls up nice. Good to go. So, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and tie that down, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, we got the other side door panel done. I got the other side door panel done, so it's all in. Door pull, window crank, all screwed in, it's good to go. You guys watched me do that one, you watched me do the dash pad. The gauge cluster, I'm gonna wait to put that in because the Autometer digital dash that we got doesn't have a hole cut for the radio. So I'm making a template off of the original one for the radio holes, but not ready to cut it yet. I gotta make 100% sure that it's perfect because I can't afford, I think it was like $1,700 or $1,200 or something to replace that dash if I mess it up. So I want to make sure that I'm not thinking about anything else, everything's going good before I mark that and cut it. So the next thing we're going to do is put the carpet in. I went ahead and took a vacuum to the floor, vacuumed up all the insulation off of wires and everything, dirt and all that was in here from when I was working on it. And then I took some glass cleaner and microfiber and wiped everything down so that there's not any dirt or anything that'll hold moisture trapped underneath the carpet. So we're gonna get set up. This one's gonna be a little bit different than the carpet install that we did in Dirty, because this guy that owns this truck wants it super quiet, so he went ahead and ordered another layer of insulation that goes under the carpet to help with climate control and help with noise. So I've never put any of that in before, so you guys are gonna learn with me. Can't be that hard. I've done the carpet a million times and I'm pretty sure that just lays under the carpet and you put the carpet on it. So I'm gonna get set up and we'll throw the carpet in. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me all right. So this is the sound deadening material, and best I can tell, it goes in like this. Now it goes this way. I guess that's it. Lays in there. Might have to trim it just a little bit so it doesn't stick out past the carpet, but seems like it just lays in there like that and then the carpet goes on top of it. Alright, we got that trimmed up where it needs to be. Laid out pretty good. Now we're gonna throw our carpet back in here. Get it laid out where it needs to go. Alright. Got that laid down in there. Now the first thing I do when I put these carpets in is trim the hole for the dimmer switch, because then that allows the carpet to lay all the way down. So I'll get that trimmed and get the grommet put in, and then we'll figure out where else we got to trim to get this to lay in there right. Okay, now I got the hole for the dimmer switch cut out, and they leave the carpet too long on the sides, so you can trim it to fit. This is a really nerve-wracking part because I've cut these too short before by accident, and then you pretty much ruin the carpet because the strips don't cover it up. So I'm going to just take a little bit off and then try it, and then take a little more off, try it, just keep trimming away just a little bit until it fits. Okay, I got the carpet trimmed up where I want it, and we got our shiny new strips here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down and screw those in. Alright, got those in. Got fuzz from the carpet all over here. We'll get that cleaned up later. And then got our other strip here. This is going to sit on top. That one's got to go on first. Get that out of the way. Put this one in here. That'll lay down perfect like that. good time with this today, guys. There would normally already be holes for these, but the cab was rusty right here, so they body worked it and covered the holes up, so now we gotta make new ones. Alright, put that one in. My carpet came out again. Okay, so we got the sound deadening and the carpet set in there, and I got the driver's side trimmed and the trim pieces put on and done. I wanted to get the carpet all the way in and maybe the seat belts for this video, but it's getting pretty late on Friday afternoon and I want to get home and get this video done to put up for you guys, and I'm just getting tired. So bring you in here a little closer. Carpet's trimmed pretty good. Got the trim piece on. There's the dimmer switch that I was working on. And then I was able to trim the carpet here and tuck it underneath my speaker mounts that I made, so it looks like the carpet runs all the way back and does that. But we got quite a bit done. And a lot of this stuff is usually pretty quick, but there was a lot of little stuff that I did off camera in between that took a lot of time. Like doing the wiring that I did at the beginning of the video, and then getting the interior as far as I did, took me a whole week. I started on it Monday morning. It's now Friday afternoon. So I probably got 4 7-hour days and a 5 or 6 hour day in touching up wiring and how far I got on the interior. So there's quite a bit to it. Like I said, I'm gonna end this video here because I want to get the video out for you guys so you got something to watch this week. So that's gonna do it. I appreciate everybody that subscribed. Like and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you know a better way to do this than what I'm doing. Drop it down there in the comments. I'll read it and I'll respond to you, or like it or something. I read them all. But if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You might not like me now, but I tend to grow on people. So go ahead and subscribe so you can watch the rest of my videos. But y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.